Hi, welcome to the Pursuit of Truth. So I was watching Panorama's program on the Pandora papers, and as expected, it's the same thing that I expected or I'd already read. They just centered on the Muslim countries, the Russians. They did get to Tony Blair in the end. I suppose they were trying to show that they were not picking on certain people, but they obviously were. I mean, that's what I expected, you know. I'm surprised there was no Chinese people that they decided to disclose. There was so many people. I mean, the Queen did come up on one of them, but they sort of tried to defend, like with Tony Blair, they tried to defend it. They didn't put it as harsh as when they were talking about the Russians. So that's the problem when the media isn't objective, that it has these agendas, because it's pumped into us through films, through television, through Reuters and etc. of that, you know, that Russia can't be trusted. But wait a minute, what is Russia? Russia is this collection of people that have decided to call themselves Russians. They're human beings just like us, exactly the same. They have the same frailties, the same thought patterns, the same, okay, there may be different governments and different things, but generally they're human beings, aren't they? Everyone is human beings. We just do things differently. It's like the snowball effect that that's being created there. So I would have liked to have seen a maybe more objective. You know, I can't believe that there's not more things about our politicians, and there was not much about celebrities or pop stars. You know, it's like called the Jimmy Savile effect, and I don't mean that in a bad way, in the fact that everyone knew, you know, everyone says they knew about Jimmy Savile, and yet no one did anything about it, or not many people did about it. And when it was done, nothing was done about it until he was dead. And this is the same with this. We all know that rich and powerful people, I mean, it's in the Bible about what power and money does to you, that are swayed when it comes to brown envelopes and etc. and doing deals, and they can hide it in like legitimate means by saying, this, like they were talking about the Conservative Party's donors, that they're just giving money, but that doesn't mean they're getting any favours out in return. But we all know how easy it is. Once you've given money, you get to speak to people. You know, they probably get to speak to secretaries and things, so they don't use the main people, so the media can't report on it. And that, you know, they get to pass their idea. This is a project I'm working on, and then they go over it and say, yes, it's a good project, but they're getting unfair treatment. They're getting pushed to the front, as it were. We all know this happens in our day-to-day lives. When we work, we know how the power scale works. How when the little people say there's a problem, no one listens, and then when someone high up notices the problem, and then suddenly everyone says yes, yes, yes. we all seen that. We all know that happens. That happens with power and money. So what's the problem? Well, human beings are human beings. The problem is the power and the money. Power is illusionary. It's not a true thing. There's not, just because you've got a crown on your head doesn't make you more powerful than the man sweeping the streets. You're exactly the same. It's only the way you see each other and only the way you see it yourselves. But you're exactly the same. You're human beings. You should have the same rights, shouldn't you? Why should one have a better life than another? Is that fair? Do you believe that's fair? Those people who believe in equality, how do you square that off? It's not fair, is it? And then I was watching about Insulate Britain and people, the media, moaning about them blocking the M25. But I seem to, I don't know, they say like, you know, this kind of behaviour is bad and etc. And I suppose from a lawful point of view it may be considered that. But what about Emily Pankhurst? Or was it Emily Pankhurst or one of the suffragettes who got in front of the King's horse and died so that women could get voting rights? Would we say the same about them? Rosa Parks, who sat on a bus and didn't follow the law. All those people that have done these things, Nelson Mandela and etc., who we consider heroes now because they stood up. They were the individual that stood up against those things that they knew were wrong, and everyone knew were wrong, but were too afraid to stand up for. And there's someone that does, and they're demonised. until everyone gets on board, and then they're heroes. I guess that's another frailty within humanity of worrying about what everyone else is thinking, that sheep effect of, unless everyone's in agreement with it, oh no, that's wrong, we shouldn't be doing that. But if the problem is things are rarely solved by pieces of paper or people being peaceful, other than say Gandhi. But I'm sure there was violence involved in that. Not that I'm trying to say that violence is the answer, but the governments don't. Hitler and Winston Churchill didn't sit with placards outside waving "Don't invade Poland," did they? They went to war. Or countries like to tell people, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, you should obey the law. But they go around killing people in the form of armies and wars. If everything can be sorted out through peaceful means, why does it always take wars and aggression and violence to actually get things done? I don't think that's inherent in human beings. It's not like 2001, the apes beating things, or maybe it is. I think it's something that we learn through our surroundings, through history, through how we see others act. That because of the inequality, the power struggle that creates that. Why do people steal things? It's not because they want to steal things. It's because they don't have something, because they're starving, or their life is so bad that they want drugs to try and get out of it. Imagine this beautiful life that we all have. But it all comes down to the equality. That's the thing. That's the main thing. Humanity and equality. There is no reason why we have everything on this place that we found ourselves on, that we don't really know why we're here. There are reasons that people have come up with, but there's no reason why we should live different values from each other just because thousands of years ago some person came up with these democracies or these governments or these ideas that divide us. It's sad, really, and it's very depressing when you think about these things, because it doesn't matter how many people say it, unless the whole people say it, it's not going to change. And those people in power are the ones that hold that, and they're the ones through the media control that thought process of the sheep. But they won't say it because they're okay, Jack, isn't it? They're not going to take away their own thrones and their own £1 million houses hidden away in Crete, or the stacks of money while people are starving. And all us little people with little voices do is just keep talking about it and hoping more people keep talking about it till the light is so bright that it can't be ignored. Take care, take it easy, goodbye, and peace.